Ukraine war. Russia goes back to prisons to feed its war machine. The Russian Defense Ministry has been recruiting prisoners to fight in Ukraine, apparently taking over from the Wagner mercenary group, which was the first to adopt the practice last year. Such army units are commonly known as Storm Z, the letter Z being one of the symbols of Vladimir Putin's so-called special military operation against Ukraine. It is also the first letter of the Russian word zek, or inmate. The name Storm Z is unofficial and can be applied to a range of Russian army units active in different parts of Ukraine. Similarly to Wagner's prisoner units, Storm Z detachments are reportedly often treated as an expendable force thrown into battle, with little consideration for the lives of their servicemen. There are also indications that members of other army units can be sent to Storm Z detachments as punishment for violations such as insubordination or drunkenness. Wagner's role last year. Wagner head Yevgeny Prigozhin, known as Putin's chef, was allowed to recruit in prisons after tens of thousands of Russian troops were killed in Ukraine. He personally visited numerous jails to promise convicted criminals that they would be able to go home free and with their convictions removed after 6 months of fighting for Wagner in Ukraine, if they survived. The group, which employed experienced mercenaries as well as convicts, proved itself as a capable fighting force in locations such as the eastern Ukrainian town of Bakhmut. But then Prigozhin very publicly escalated his criticism of Russia's top brass, accusing them of incompetence and of deliberately starving Wagner of ammunition. 2 months after staging a short-lived mutiny, Prigozhin died in a plane crash in August 2023 together with Wagner's other top commanders. The group has now all but disappeared from the battlefield in Ukraine. Military takes over. Reports from Russia suggest that the Defense Ministry has taken over from Wagner as a recruiter of inmates for the war against Ukraine. It is the same scheme as with the Wagner private military company, said RTVI, a Russian news website. Prisoners sign contracts with the Defense Ministry, and after completing them they can go home or continue serving. One member of Storm Z, a former prisoner interviewed by US-funded website Sever Reality, said Defense Ministry recruiters promised inmates lavish payments, a salary of 250 rubles, about $1,000 or £1, 700 a month, a payment of 3 meters rubles, $31,000 or 26 pounds, 0 per injury, and 5 meters rubles, $52,000 or 43 pounds, 0 to be paid to the recruit's relatives if he gets killed. It all sounded hunky-dory, he said, but soon after being deployed to Ukraine, the former prisoners realized they were being sent into a total meat grinder without proper armaments or without even being told of the real situation on the front line. He said, the man whose real name Sever Reality did not give, lost a leg in battle, but he survived, unlike some of his fellow fighters from Storm Z. Even though the Russian military has not confirmed or denied recruiting convicts, there are numerous indications of them being sent to units known as Storm Z. For example, Mikhail Razvazayev, the Russia-installed governor of the occupied city of Sevastopol in Crimea, on the 17th of October confirmed that one of the 2 Storm Z members recently killed in fighting was an ex-prisoner who had decided to atone for his guilt and signed a contract with the Defense Ministry in spring 2023. Also in October, popular Russian newspaper Moskovsky Komsomolets interviewed another member of Storm Z, a convicted murderer who uses the call sign Bandit. He had served 6 years of his 19-year prison sentence before joining the Russian military. It doesn't matter if you're a contract soldier, if you've been mobilized, or if you are even a convict. No, we're like family, Bandit told the paper. I just hope the Defense Ministry does what it promised and secures a pardon for me. Their Just Meet Defense Ministry in Moscow first referred to Storm units on the 25th of January this year, publishing a video of them training, but without going into the detail of who their members were. It is possible that the unit mentioned by the Defense Ministry is different from Storm Z units, which comprise convicts.